And welcome once again to the AV Championship. We're going off to Monaco today. I've been drinking, I am the Gnome, and I'm going to take you through today's race, which is race 13 of Season 3 at Monaco. Quick little update as we wait for the drivers to load in. I believe I've been informed that neither Haas is going to be here today. Also, we've had a couple of retirements. Wolfscorper has retired from McLaren, been having a lot of difficulties getting to grips with his car and having a few problems each race, and decided to call that a day. Tiger Gizmo has moved over from the Racing Point to the McLaren. We have Elkir here filling in the Racing Point for him. And we also have a retirement of Tenta. Tenta had a few crashes in the F2, and that has led him, as a result, to be unable to continue racing in the F1. I hope your injuries from those crashes in the F2 get better, and one day we can see you on the track again, Tenta. Right. Very good race on Monday in Mexico. That was a very exciting race. We enjoyed that a lot here while watching that. Kuhn there, unable to participate in Mexico. He is back here today in Monaco, though. Lost a couple of drivers, got one back. While we wait to load in, for everyone to load up, we've got 14 in here so far. I have been informed we should hopefully have about 15 drivers coming in. Obviously, Domestos isn't going to have his Red Bull. We've got both Alfa Romeos that are currently missing both Mercedes here right now. No Reaper, no Lola. There's Reaper, there's one Mercedes. So right now in the standings, we're to come into this race. We're already halfway through the championship, as I said, now on to race 13, and AlphaTauri right now with a 299 point lead in the championship. 97 points behind them. In second is Mercedes with 202, and 25 points behind them with 177 is Red Bull. But obviously, as we said, Domestos now, Tenta having retired, without a teammate there in the Red Bull, he's going to have some serious work there to do. Haas with 156 points behind them in fourth, and then Alfa Romeo with 145. Haas right now giving up the opportunity for some points here on Monaco with not many drivers here on the grid. Alfa Romeo's got both drivers in here, and Domestos in there, the only driver in the Red Bull. This could be a good race here for you, Alfa Romeo, to start moving, clawing your way back up the Constructors' Championship there. Only 11 points behind Haas. You should be able to move up a position again there. So, as we mentioned, Domestos losing his teammate there. Domestos and Wouter now, with Kuhn having to sit out the last race and not being able to make Mexico. Domestos and Wouter now are the only two drivers to consistently score points in every single one of the races we've done so far. So are they going to get some more back again now in race 13? 30 seconds now for the last drivers to load up. We've got 16 in here now. Bestos is here from the Haas. Haas do have a chance of getting some points here now. Who are we missing? We've got both Renaults in here. We've got both McLarens. We've got one Williams there. We're missing a Williams. We're missing a Red Bull. We're missing a Mercedes. There's three of our drivers. What else am I not seeing that's missing? As we load in now off to Monaco, the Circuit de Monaco in the Monte Carlo district of Monaco. 50% race as normal, 39 laps around here, 3.3 kilometers, just over 2 miles long, the shortest track on the calendar, and one of the hardest, 19 corners, 1 DRS zone. Also, one of the tightest tracks on the grid there as well. Average space around here ranging from just over 7 meters to about 10 meters something. Not a lot of space at all, really. Only a couple of very good overtaking opportunities around here along that grid straight and along through the tunnel of turn 9. There is a few more, maybe about 2 or 3 more in there, but you need to make sure you're following on nice and close behind someone so you can get the jump on them, like out of the Nouvelle chicane before coming into back. Reaper there informing me he is on the controller today, in case we are wondering. That's be interesting to see. And right, as always, we'll try and get our nice clean lap around Monaco, and I'm wondering who we can trust to give us our nice clean lap around Monaco. Race is going to be dry, I'm informed. As we can see, it is dry there for qualifying. Very high downforce track around here, needed to be able to hold the drivers in those corners. There's a few cars coming out there right now, both the McLarens there coming out. Well, I'm just setting up my telemetry right now. A few drivers testing out the mediums there, Gizmo, Wouter and Xz. I should imagine they'll probably change them back off later. Just going to be getting a feel of the track. And as we said, who can we trust around this dangerous circuit? As what's going on there with Wouter there already. Who can we trust around Monaco? Looked at in a while. Go with Bestos and go with the house here out of the drivers that are out. So statistically speaking, over the last 2 seasons here, the driver that has started on pole for the AV has gone on to win the race. In season 1 that was Ethan, and in season 2 that was Knack. You see Bestos now slowing down as it comes up to Raskas, making sure he's got space in front of him. We're going to follow on board and try and get a nice clean flying lap here around the Circuit de Monaco as we come up to the grid and the timeline now. Coming into turn 1, getting nice and wide there for the start. Little bends up here in the road is turn 2. And to come out here for the left hand of turn 3, slowing right down for here, Casino Corner there, coming down. You see the level of the tarmac very uneven all over here. As we come down into turn 6, the Grand Hotel hairpin, taking reasonable amount of curb there for 7. Can't do that on 8 because there's a wall there. And we come down to the tunnel, the only road tunnel in an F1 track in the current calendar. That is turn 9. As we come down to 10 and 11, the Nouvelle chicane. Need to be careful trying to run that too tight in there. On the first corner, we can catch the back wheels as we come to back 12. And we come down now into the swimming pool complex. It's a decent amount of curb there on the entry. That was very smoothly through there. And this is looking nice here for Raskas as well. Dropping down through 19. Didn't take any curb on the exit. That's a nice time there for Bestos. That was looking quick. That's a 111.049. That puts him potentially in 4th. And just as Bestos has crossed the line, Knack there has put in a 110.9. Fastest real life quarry lap around here is 110.166 set by Hamilton in 1999. VFL F1 League there. Hoping to see another epic battle between James, Reaper and Knack. I hope so too. That was a great race we saw at Mexico last week. Who have we got here? Elykr here in the racing point. He's on a fast lap there right now, coming into back, and he's just lost a large amount. He's lost the whole of his wing coming through there. He's going to get straight back in the pits, I think. Yeah, he's going to lose too much time going through Raskas there. He'll go back into the pit, get his wing back on, and go for another one. James there. Where's James? Showing me the pits. Says I'm doing lap tires, so. The driver's here in the pit. Where's the Mestos? He's not on a fast lap there. I think Lang not on a fast lap either there. What is Kuhn doing here? Coming up to Raskas. Going in to the pits. Get down and follow on with Reaper. He's on his fast lap right now, coming up to turn 3. Very clean through 3 and 4 there. Bending with the motions of the track and the tarmac on that little run between 4 and 5. Cleanly there through the Grand Hotel hairpin. Come down onto the run down now into the Nivelle chicane, turns 10 and 11. Looking very stable through there, getting as wide as possible before his entry. That was nice and clean to back 12. The right amount of downforce to hold the car in place there for 12. That's nice and clean through the swimming pool complex there as well, and into Raskas. They're running a little bit deep there, but that's still very clean and smooth there. What sort of time? This is going to be quick. That's a 110.184. He has just destroyed max time there by almost 0.8 of a second. Reaper on the controller, he's on the controller. That is a very good clean time, and that I think is going to be a push there. Anyone else to beat this? He's already set that. Still 10 minutes of qualifying left. There's still a lot of time for rubber to be put down the track. But if he comes around again and gets a very clean lap around here, I should imagine that even he himself will be able to beat that time as we come down here to Gizmo in the McLaren. Not got a time on the board yet. Coming through turn 4, very wide there. Tiny little tap on the barrier with the wheel, but that is purple in sector 1 there for Gizmo. We get through the hairpin there. Reasonable pace, yes. Don't take too much curb there on 7 because you can invalidate the lap, but a little bit wide. Then coming through 8. Nice and stable through 9 in the tunnel. That's invalidated it on the Nivelle chicane there. That's a shame. Purple there in sector 1. Gizmo will be upset with that. As James now, he's on a fast lap in the Renault. James only joined us a few races ago, but doing some very impressive driving, as we just had mentioned. A great battle in Mexico with him, Reaper and Knack. That was nice through Raskas there. 1.8 at the line there. It's 112.2. He's on the medium tyre though. Take about a second of that. I still think he's maybe got a bit more in him than that. It still looks like he's pushing around here for another lap now as well. We'll follow with him. I think he was a little light on the gas there through 4. Being careful of his exit. Nice and tight through 5 though. Getting as wide as possible. Little lock up there in 6, but that is still good. Enough curb. Good bit of speed there through 7 and 8. Nice and tight there on 9. Nearly going too wide on the exit though. To see someone's end plate there. on the floor by the Novell. Coming through to back, powering back through. That's fastest in Sector 2 there for James Gizmo. Bestos, thank you. Out of the way, this should be much better for James here. Fastest in Sector 2 on the medium tyre. 7 there. It's going to be a second or so quicker, but it's not going to move him up that much. It's a 1:11.4. If we take the actual second off there now for the soft tyres, we could put a time down like Reaper at the end. He's going to keep running these though. We saw him do this several times in qualifying. Let's just run on the mediums for a while, I think, and just get a bit of pace, get a bit of speed in, and then I'll switch out to the softs and put up a very fast time, I think, towards the end. We'll follow him back again. Go, and we see Jasper here in the Ferrari. That's an invalidated lap. Gizmo is not there. Who have we got? Reaper on his out lap. He's on some softs now. He's going to look to try and improve at this time. He's already got the one at 10.1 again. Almost running a little bit wide there on one. Still carried a lot of speed through there though, so that was nice and fast through 3, very comfortable through 4, a little bit oversteered, I think, pulling him towards the inside there, then getting nice and wide for the hairpin of 6. That was a little bit slow through there, I think, though. Tapped the curb a little bit. That was nice through 8 though. Little look up, and there we go. Little look up, and that's what happens. Try and turn it a little bit too early, get a little bit too close to the wall. The back wheel catches on it there, and it just spins the whole car around. Reaper powering away now. I don't know if he's going to take those tyres off or whether he's going to go with them. Nope, he is going to get rid of them. That's where he's powering off like that. I didn't think he'd keep him after powering away that hard on those tyres. They're going to be very hot when he comes on to his next lap. Kronik on the mediums. Right now, that's an invalidated lap though, as we follow on with Tess, currently down here in 9th on the soft tyres. A little bit wobbly there on the exit of turn 11. Looking reasonably strong here though through the swimming pool section. That was smooth there, maybe lifting a bit too much at the end. You hear the wheels locking up there, coming through Raskas. It should be good though, it should be better than the other previous time. That's a 1:10.8. That puts the Ferrari up into 3rd. That's the 2nd row for the Ferrari there. I like that. That was the fastest in Sector 3 there. Say, as we come down through turn 19, there's a timeline there, and you want to be around a 1:06 there, and that's going to lead to around a 1:10 on the final time. That was very good. I'd like to see the Ferrari start up there on the 2nd row. That would be nice. What else have we got on a lap here? There's the other Ferrari. Let's get on with McLaren. McLaren having, both McLarens here, having problems getting up towards the top 10 here. That was a lot of curb on 7 from Xz just then. A bit slower than I think he'd want to through 7 and 8. Nicely through 9. Get nice and wide for the entrance here. That was good. A little bit of hesitation in the corner before the exit though. James P2 on mediums. Yes, he has done it. He's still running those mediums, and he has got up to P2 there on them. I should imagine. I'm sure James might stick with those mediums, actually, and see if he can run them through. That didn't really improve X's time there. Who else? Where is Knack? Knack, our persistent little, say, probably qualifying champ here. More pole position times than anyone else here in the league. A couple of them he did have penalties for those, so he didn't get a start on the pole, but still had the quickest times in qualifying. And yes, I was just going to say, he got the fastest time there through Sector 2, and he invalidated his lap there coming through the swimming pool section. Took a little bit too much curb. Very easy to corner 12 there, front to back. Very nice tiny bit of brake applied beforehand, and downforce should be set up on the car right, and it should be the exact amount of kind of oversteer and understeer just to apply back on the gas, and you should just come through turn 12 to back there. It should just hold you just off the wall, and then you fly through the swimming pool complex. You don't let up on the gas, you just pull left and pull right, and then on the brake a tiny bit and left again, and the car's set right. It kind of, the whole roll of the car should just pull itself through there. Come again, we did see it flash up in purple. It's purple on Sector 2 there again. Don't take too much curb. Took nearly a little bit too much there. You saw them get a little bit unstable on the exit. Run a bit heavy into Raskas there. Still moved him up into second. That's a 1:10.3. James is out on the soft tyres now. Both the Ferraris looking very strong here around Monaco. Impressed with that Ferrari. Domestos down there. Domestos down there in P6 right now. Lost your teammate Domestos. We need a big old push around here. Haven't quite got a full grid. I think some of the drivers may be choosing to opt out of the race, being Monaco. This is amateur racing. I am fully expecting some safety cars around this track. As we follow on with, I think he's just come to the end of his quali lap. He's moved up into fourth there. Tess out again. It's a very good standard driving here. Top 8 drivers all putting down times within 1:10. Top 8 drivers are all within 0.8 of each other on the time. As long as we don't see any crazy moves into the hotel hairpin or into Raskas here, we should be alright. Tess running deep there, as we mentioned, Raskas as well. That's going to affect the time. Wouter, 5-place grid penalty with Xz. Didn't get to see what that was about, but that's going to be upset. Wouter not happy about that. He's just destroyed his car. That's the end of his qualifying. Let's look at James now. I'm going to follow on with James. Few seconds of qualifying left right now. Dom ahead of him. They're both going to be going for a fast lap in these last few seconds. Knack there retiring from his lap. Reaper is still out there as well. Where is Reaper on the track? Reaper a bit further back there. I don't know if Reaper's going to get round for his lap or not before that timer runs out, but I'd be interested to see what James can do here. Very good at throwing in some solid qualifying times in the last few minutes when the track is rubbered in well. Unfortunately, I think he's going to get caught in the traffic of Domestos here. Domestos is also on a fast lap. He doesn't have to let James pass if he doesn't want. He says on lap of tyres, but I think he's going for the fast lap. Doesn't have to yield that position on the lap to him if he doesn't want. James there, very smooth there through the swimming pool. Don't have purple in any sectors here though. I don't know how Dom is doing. He's just taking a lot of curb there. What are these drivers going to move up to? That moves James up into second. That's a 109.9. Reaper's got a 109.7 there. 2 drivers to run a 109 Ferrari is back, apparently so. 4th and 5th Ferrari, well done with that. There's our 3 drivers from last week though. James Black and Reaper, our 3 podium finishers, all there starting in the top 3 positions on here today. I don't think there's anyone left to run. I think it's Reaper. I think Reaper may have made it round for a hot lap. I think he's still pushing here right now. This isn't the AI controlling that. No, didn't beat. VFL F1, reckon James could have gone a little bit faster if the Red Bull wasn't in front. Maybe so. I did think he did. Look like he held off for a bit there. I was wondering why he did seem to follow Dom very quickly through Raskas there. I would have thought he would have maybe left himself a little bit more space there. They were both going 4 hot laps at the end, so as I said, Dom doesn't have to pull over there. That's down the space and we leave. But as we say, Reaper in 1st, James in 2nd, Knack in 3rd, Tess 4th, Jasper 5th, Wouter 6th, Lang 7th. I'm not going to get time to read them out, but they're on the stream there. Emperor Palpatine, get in there, Reaper. Unsure who half these people here are in the chat. I think some of these people are the ones driving right now, but it messes up. I'm not sure. Some of you are there as we wait to go into the race right now. Very famous quote about Monaco from Nelson PK. He once described the track as like riding a bicycle around your living room. So we'll see how well the drivers get on with that today. They set up their tyre strategies and their fueling. As I said, this amateur racing, I expect to see some safety cars around here today. It'd be interesting to see what kind of tyre strategies maybe they devise. You've always got the option of kind of trying to eke out those tyres as long as you can, wait for the safety cars to pit in then, or you can go the other route and try and pit between the safety cars and use that, the other drivers pitting under the safety car, to gain your positions back up within the pack. So as we load in right now, there's 5 lights all coming on. And hey, that's the 5 lights out. That held me there a little bit for what's going on. As we head up into turn 1, I think we're all coming through there relatively cleanly. Get back up to the front there. Reaper still lead the pack. Gizmo getting in front of Legacy is the only change so far we've seen in the pack order here. Kuhn now getting in front of Lang there through turn 3, I think it was. Everyone else, and there's a safety car there already. What caused that safety car? I'm not sure what that was. YorkshireRock clearly with Elk there. I have written down. Let's have a look. Now they're going slow and try and see. Oh, our telemetry on. So we've got Elk there with a drive through Yorkshire round, both with 10-second penalties. Unsure there what happens. What did I just... Chronic, I think, clipped the wall and spun round there, as we saw Reaper do in qualifying. That's allowed the other drivers to move in front of him now onto the safety car because he spun. But I'm wondering if something happened at the back of the pack here. Rowan's got a messed up wing there. Yorkshire's missing end plates on his wing. Elkir's also coming in to the pits right now. As we look, Johnny drives up here on the soft tyre. These drivers that obviously did start out of the top 10 did all opt to go for the longest stint on the medium tyre, and we've also got a few pitting in now under the safety car. I wouldn't be surprised if this one pitting in now on the safety car wouldn't all put on the harder tyre, so they can then get a longer run. If we get another safety car come out, then soon they'll be able to move themselves further towards the front of the pack, hopefully. Pretty sure I thought somebody had a safety car. Apparently we're racing again. I don't know what's going on. I've been drinking. Maybe it was a Virgil. But we're racing again. So we're following on. We're Reaper right now. James chasing him 0.8 of a second behind him. Ferrari of Tess there doing very well. Up into third now. Knack dropping down into fourth position there. Didn't get to see the Ferrari pass Knack. That would have been interesting to see. AlphaTauri there, sandwiched between the two Ferraris. That's a nice view of the hotel hairpin there. Seeing them all come through, down through 7. Reaper now 0.9 off of James. 3 right now. DRS should be getting enabled. Domestos making moves on Lang there through the tunnel. What we said, Bestos there getting on the inside as well, forcing Lang. Lang reluctant to give up that position there, all over the curb on the inside of the chicane. Very difficult there coming down to Novell chicane. If you give up that inside line, there's not really much of a space to get 2 cars through there. It's not really that nice taking that inside line either, to be honest. Driving through it always, you want that wide entry. It's difficult corner there, running 2 cars in together. Domestos has picked up penalties right now though already. Domestos with a 5-second penalty already. Elkir with 8, YorkshireRock with 10 still. There's Jasper spinning around. He's dropping down. Ibs said that's just after turn 4. Not sure what happened there. Kuhn got past. Not sure if there was contact between those drivers or not. I hope there wasn't. Knack now making his way back up past Tess in the tunnel. And clipping that wall on the exit, on the entry to 10 there, to say it hasn't taken damage, but Tess is still right behind him now. Does anything like that again, running a lot of curb and hitting the wall there as well. Knack desperately trying to catch back up, hitting the wall again there, trying so hard here to catch back up. Has he got damage in his car? Wing doesn't look damaged. That flash I saw just then, I think he's just pushing very hard. 7 seconds right now behind James. He wants to catch back up with those leaders right now, as I see Lang falling further down the board right now. He's going into the pit. That's why we'll get back up towards the front here with Tess following on to Knack. Got there's a pink racing point there out here being lapped. Bestos following on strong here behind Domestos. A little bit of a gap now starting to form between those top 5 drivers. Just as I say that, James and Tessa closing those gaps back down. Domestos now getting a bit of more of a run over Domestos, trying to make sure Bestos doesn't get that DRS as we come through to the grid line. Think he should be safe from it. Yeah, the DRS line has been passed. James now working very hard to catch back up with Reaper right now. James very light on his corners here, just sitting in behind Reaper by the looks of it. Reaper there locking up slightly. James just remaining very calm and patient here behind him. Monaco very much a waiting game. You've got a good driver in front of you. They're not going to leave. They're not going to leave that easy line open for you to take. You see there, Reaper defending that inside line because he knows that's the only way through into that chicane. Pulls back wide before coming into it. this is going to be a battle of pit stops between these two drivers. I think both very competent around here. Back end almost getting away from Reaper there. Case of seeing when each other pits and then go for the undercut, and then the other one hoping if they can put down a lot to come back themselves. Drop back a little bit and see what's going on down here. Both McLarens moved themselves up a bit here from the back of the pack, both on medium old tyres here. Gizmo very much catching up to Wouter now. I said Alfa Romeo going to be looking for a strong finish today. Two teams above them. Both only have one driver in the racing, which is Domestos and Bestos. Alfa Romeo only 11 points behind the Haas. So Wouter is not going to want to let this McLaren get anywhere near him. Just as I mentioned, the Alfa Romeo, their Kronik there, picking up a 3-second penalty. Gizmo lifting a bit there through the swimming pool. Wouter getting that space on him now before the DRS timeline. He's going to be safe coming back in there. We'll check back up with our leaders now. Reaper now catching up to YorkshireRock now, our front two here. Already having lapped Elykr, and Rowan James having lapped his own teammate in the other Renault. Taking a lot of curb there on 7, very clean through 8 though. Reaper trying to get a bit of toe there off Yorkshire, following his line through 9 there, trying as hard as he can to get it off James. I'm not sure if that would have been a warning there for James there. Seemed to take a lot of curb on the entry to 10. Fair bit there coming through 13 as well. I think James is really pushing here to try and stay with Reaper. He's had that toe off Yorkshire there as well. They're both passed. He's got DRS. Very hard to make a move with the DRS along here. You need to come out. Your wing pretty much needs to be in their gearbox there when you're coming out of 19. There's a little tap there for James's wing actually on the wall. It's still okay, no damage. End plate's still there. As we look what is going on, Bestos making moves on Dom there into turn 1, on the way out of turn 1 I should say. I missed that, as Gizmo's also got in front of Wouter through there as well. Yeah, that's where the Haas and the McLaren are getting up on the inside of the other drivers, forcing that bit wider on turn 1, dominating and taking over that racing line through the DRS zone. As we get up, Kuhn now trying to put on the pressure to this Ferrari here. Looking very stable there through turn 11, both cars. Just on the edge of if he's going to get the DRS or not through the timeline. I think Tess has done enough there. They have rid to Raskas. That was the timeline. Couldn't get him wobbly there. Not going to get the DRS this lap. Going to have to keep pushing. Nack's going into the pits. James has also gone into the pit now and put the hard tyre on. So this will be interesting to see what Reaper's reaction to this was. To see if he's going to just try and throw in, burn some ERS, put in a fastest lap as he possibly for the pit. We saw this on the other race in Mexico. That was great. James, Reaper and Nack all on different pit strategies there. James and Reaper started on the medium, Nack started on the soft. Nack went from soft to hard in that race. James went from medium to hard in that race, and Reaper went from medium to a double set of softs in that race, and that was great entertainment with their pit stops there. James being able to hold off Reaper enough on his softs. There is Reaper's also come in to the pits now as well, hoping he's done enough on those softs. He's put the mediums on. James has gone on to the hards. Don't know if Reaper's going to be maybe expecting another safety car or something maybe around here, and that's why maybe put the mediums, try and get more grip and pace. And I don't think when a safety car comes later on, I'll switch those tyres back out, but to put them on now, he's got another 29 laps to go. I think James will probably be trying to take those hards probably to the end. Maybe if a safety car comes towards the end of the race, he'll switch them out for some better tyres, but unsure of Reaper's strategy. He did get a fast enough time down with that lap extra on the softs. He is still in front of James, and they've now got Bestos. James now has Bestos in between him and Reaper. Bestos on 10 lap old mediums, potentially going to be holding James up a bit. James really pushing through there, trying, looking there to have a go on the Welsh again, and Bestos running a little bit deep there through 10. James thinks about it and he gets hold of it, backs out of position, lets Bestos go and take the race in line. He's going to have to wait for another opportunity. He knows Bestos is going to have to pit in soon, but he also knows he's on a hard time. Reaper's on a medium, and Reaper is potentially going to get a bit more pull. He's already pulling away from Bestos, getting wobbly there out of 19. That's James's opportunity to go. He gets in front of Bestos now. He's going to turn one first, but he's now got 3 seconds between him and Reaper, and he's on the hard tyre. He's not going to want to try and burn them out too early before the end of the race. Reaper's got no one in front of him. He's going to push that medium tyre as hard as he can. There it is, purple in sector 1. He's going to push these mediums to the end of their life, work out as much space as he possibly can, and probably put back in for a soft maybe towards the end of the race. Hopefully, maybe by that point, with enough space to be able to pit in and come back out cleanly in first position, or come out just behind James on that soft tyre and have the tyre advantage. And that's interesting. We've got a safety car right now. We've just been notified another safety car run collision there with Gizmo. I don't see any cars stopped on track. I do see a Renault there very slowly. Not sure which slow Renault that was. No, that's the safety car coming out, not a slow Renault. Whoops. The colour's the same. It's not my fault. Do have a safety car. Let's check our penalties right now. Lang there picking up a drive-through penalty. Someone's been exceeding his delta under the safety car. So imagine a lot of these drivers are going to come in, pit these tyres off now. Probably also going to get a bit of that penalty time removed off. We'll see what they come back out on. Reaper's going to want, yep, there he is, there's him and James. Start that safety car lap up as soon as possible for them. So we've got there Jaspers in the pit. I don't think anyone else is. Jasper, YorkshireRock's there, pitted, Bestos is pitted, and Gizmo all pitted under the safety car. Xz still up there on 12 lap old mediums. I would have expected him to maybe pitted under that safety car there. Potentially at this point, 13 laps in, that safety car there. If I was on the tyres at Xz and Lang's, probably on there, I possibly would have pitted and probably maybe checked on a set of hards to try and go towards the end of the race, knowing there's probably going to be another safety car, and I'll possibly have an opportunity to chuck on some mediums or some soft tyres again by the end of the race and try and capitalise on the safety car periods when everyone's held under that delta time. There he is, Xz is pitting in now. Maybe he's unsure what to do. Maybe he'd already passed the pit lane. He's coming back in. We'll follow on with our front runners just starting their second lap of the safety car. This is lap 14. Still not even halfway at the halfway point yet. A few laps off that. We'll touch back onto that battle they had in Mexico on Monday. I think that has to be one of my favourite races, probably my most favourite race of this season, of season 3. It was great to see Knack, James and Reaper all battling at the front there. We don't always follow on so much with the front driver, as in some of the previous races we normally get like person in the front manages to make a bit of distance between themselves and they're just kind of comfortably riding themselves towards the front there. Person second maybe as well, and we normally sit back in the midfield a little bit for some battle, but all three of those on different tyre strategies. We had Domestos there chasing and trying as hard as he could to chase them down as well, staying with them for the good first third of the race before his battle then developed with Lolo for 4th and 5th position. Kuhn, I think, very much missing from that other race, very much capable of running up there within those kind of top 5 drivers as well, and would have been nice to see where he would have been with the keeping with Domestos and holding with the front guys, and whereabouts that little battle will have developed further back within the 4th and 5th spots. But we come now coming up to Raskas, that safety car's not coming in. We have another safety car lap. I thought safety car was coming in. Apparently not. I thought we'd already did a safety car lap. That's okay, interesting. Yeah, no, I swear this is our 3rd lap of safety car now. I don't know. Like I said, I've been drinking. Just taking the wonderful vistas of Monte Carlo. Come down, turn 6. Grand Hotel hairpin. It's nice. It's beautiful to look at, but these cars getting bigger and bigger. Like we said about Nelson Piquet's, like very famous quote about being a bicycle around your living room, and when that quote was made, the cars back then were a lot smaller back then. They've been getting bigger and bigger every year. The diameters in an F1 car, roughly 2 meters in width, is the actual body wing diameters. The wheels added onto that as well make it a very tiny bit, just over 2 meters in width, and they're about 5.5 to 5.8 meters in length as well, and it's a large increase to what the cars used to be when we first started racing here around Monaco, and it gets very tight at those speeds for overtaking, especially when you're averaging speeds around a track that at its narrowest points is about 7.5 meters, and you're averaging speeds around the whole track of probably around 130, 140 towards 150 miles an hour an average for the track. As we come back to race again, Reaper there with that tyre advantage on the medium tyre. Once again, done well. Do that other lap on the soft when James pitted in to keep himself in front. Has that little breaker of Bestos in between him and James. And why am I looking at the back of a Haas right there, Reaper? That's very strange. What? If I try and get a back cam of Reaper, it's giving me the back cam of Bestos, the Haas. That's moving me down. That's very strange game. Okay, we'll keep following on with that. As we said, yeah, Reaper on the medium tyre, done well to put that other lap in and come back out with his pit stop in front of James. Managed to work up a 3-second gap, and that got ruined by that safety car, and he's got that work to do all over again. He does have the medium, he does have the tyre advantage. Knack there as well, really putting on the pressure to James through Novell chicane there, also has a bit of a tyre advantage over James right now. Gonna need to wait. James is gonna need probably another good 10 laps or so before those mediums before he really starts to notice much difference between his hard tyre and those medium tyres, where he then feels that he might start having a bit of a grip advantage over them. It's not going to be anytime soon. He's going to have to do the best he can to hold off Knack, really putting on the pressure here, following so close and tightly here behind James. Tess here in the Ferrari doing exceptionally well here, running up the front here, keeping up with Knack and James here. This is great to see this from the Ferrari. Had some Tess putting some very good races in the odd track. I mean, they're clipping their wing there. Just I mentioned how good this Ferrari's running. We'll move away from them. We don't want to curse it anymore with the commentator. What's Kuhn doing down here? Trying to make moves on Gizmo through the tunnel. I'm not sure if Gizmo had complete control over his car there. Kuhn looks at launching it in on 10. Decides no, he's not close enough up on the front of Gizmo. Gizmo does let him pass. It looked like he looked there though, but Kuhn's back wheel did clip off and send him into the barrier a bit there. I don't think he's taking damage. It just knocked him off his line a bit. Kuhn now also up past Lang back in the pits, missing the end plate from his wing there, obviously having a bit of trouble. Kuhn now got a bit of work to do here. 5 seconds or so to catch up with Tess, who's running in 4th. Tess with 5 seconds apparently, so but in time for Tess to work this off in a pit stop off for Kuhn to pick up some. So Bestos has it pitted under the safety car. Slowly did see him as that buffer between James and Reaper, slowly working his way back up through the pack here. Needs to get into that DRS range of Kuhn and just try and get that bit of a tow around there from Kuhn to try and pull him up through the pack a bit more here. KRONIK, both the Alphas here running very close behind both the McLarens. Bit of an Alfa Romeo McLaren battle here around Monaco. I like the look of this. This is nice. Is Wouter looking like he wants to make moves on the entrance to Raskas there. KRONIK as well, looking like he wanted to make moves on his teammate there. But in a Gizmo there, I think going in to the pit stop, so he's dropping back down. KRONIK has made it past his teammate there, Wouter. I didn't get to see that. But I like this McLaren Alpha battle along here. He's just a little heavy on the brake there. KRONIK very nearly running into the back of him. KRONIK there, we see very cleanly there through the hotel, but not taking much curb as we watch the back of X's car tap the wall. KRONIK though now dropping back, obviously giving space. Quite difficult to run along that close behind someone around here in Monaco with all these walls and tight gaps. That person in front of you brakes very hard. All of a sudden, you've lost your front wing. We catch on to Wouter there, bumping the wall, and we see KRONIK do the same, and that's an end plate gone flying as well. Like we said, trying to run very close behind. Eggs is there. You're going to get that dirty air. You're not going to get the same sort of traction and grip on the track as you would like. And Knack has made his way up past James. How do we miss this? He was missing the background. I was watching these guys so much. His interval time has disappeared. James, we said that these hard tyres, he's not going to get. He's not going to be able to feel that advantage of running these hard tyres. Still probably got another 6-8 laps or so around here until they're going to start to feel maybe slightly equal. James locking up, slightly hesitant there on the entry of 10, not wanting to pick up a penalty. Knack now with his medium tyres starting to pull away. I still haven't got an interval from Knack to Reaper right now. I can't. Reaper with a big gap there. That's gonna be a good 6-8 1.87 gap, 3 seconds, no. Apparently the cars move faster than my mind judges it on the TV screen. I don't think James is slow at all. He looks very comfortable around this track. That is just the absolute difference of the grip, being able to get down on some of these corners of the medium tyres there, Knack being able to make it through things like the turning circle and the grip you can get on these hairpins, that acceleration getting back out of Raskas along that straight, and here out of turn 8 as well. Very, very important. Knack very slowly closing that gap down. Reaper here, James's tyres locking up quite a bit there. And those gaps starting to form to everyone flying through the swimming pool section there. James was very close to the wall on the exit, locking up again in Raskas. Very cleanly through 19. That's the fastest lap for Knack, which is a 1:12.301, which is absolutely great. Fastest lap in real life around this track is a 1:14.260, set by Verstappen in 2018. Knack's on a 1:12. That's 2 seconds quicker than the actual F1 race record. That's a nice view, bottom of the gearbox. I had an amazing front wing view last race, and I've never seen this view here either. That's really nice. There's no cars following though, so it doesn't really look that good or spectacular right now, but that front wing view we had in Mexico is nice, and it's not reappeared this race, and I don't think it's ever going to reappear again, unfortunately. It's such a shame. Get down here to Jasper, following getting up close to this McLaren right now. Can he stay with him up to the DRS zone so he can potentially try and make a move through the grid straight? I almost finished a little bit then. I thought he turned into 10 too quickly. I thought he was going to catch his back wheel. Easing off a little bit there. Someone else's end plate. I didn't see Xz hit a wall, but there's an end plate came flying from underneath Xz's car. I think he is going to get the DRS, but I don't know if he's close enough on Xz to really make a move into turn 1. A little bit of too much oversteer there. Couldn't get the power down as quickly as possible. Domestos picking up a 3-second penalty right now. Wouter's in the pits, thrown on a set of softs right now. Lap 23. Gizmo and Wouter now on soft tyre. 16 laps of softs to go to the end on here. I think it's possible, but I don't know how good those tyres are actually going to be by the end of the race. If you think comparison, our leaders of Reaper and James had 11 lap old softs when they pitted in. Obviously you would have had out lap, hot lap, in lap, 3 more laps on those would have been 14, and I should imagine they pushed those tyres there. Look at this view of Jasper trying to get past, and he goes too close to the inside there, catches his back wheel on turn 10, really pushes on X's there. We also have funny camera view. I couldn't really see if X's gave enough space there or not. I think it was probably legit though. I don't think they touched each other or anything. I think he was trying to get too close to the inside, potentially trying to give X's too much space there, and he spun his car. Knack now having really made some distance up here on James, 7 seconds there, but as we said, these medium tyres, it's another 15 laps to go there. I think James can take the 30 laps on the hards, but I don't think Knack and Reaper are going to take that on those medium tyres. And the last thing Knack and Reaper are going to want to do is for those medium tyres to start to fail a little bit, start to run a little bit wide through a corner at like 12 right to back. Like I say, going through there and going through that swimming pool section where you're relying on the roll of the car, the downforce on the car to be correct, to just pull the car through, because you're flat out And if those tyres start failing and we get some bumps on the walls, they're not going to be wanting to take wing damage. James now pitting off those hard tyres, coming on to the mediums now. Interesting, he's not going to want to, doesn't want to risk those hards going to the end and try and take on that way. He's going to the medium, he's seen how much quicker they are. He's going to get on the medium now. He's going to have a lot of traffic though. I think maybe understand his motivation from doing that, seeing how quick Knack and Reaper are getting away from him, but they've still got 20 seconds or so to lose on a pit stop. Because like I said, I don't think they're going to take those tyres to the end. They're going to lose a lot of time taking those tyres to the end. So I think he might have been safe on that hard tyre, or maybe at least safe waiting for maybe a safety car or something to potentially come back out. I can still see and feel we're gonna have another safety car around here. So Knack though very much having caught up to Reaper. I don't know if Reaper's had some difficulty. Why can't I get back views of Reaper? Go back to Reaper and let's get back on this. Thank you. So weird. Anyway, Knack very much having caught up to this distance on Reaper around here as well. Very much same on the tyres. No one's got any more advantage here. Neither of them have penalties. James dropped down to 7th now, putting on those fresh mediums. I think he's going to be hoping to put down decent pace on those fresh mediums and just maybe hope that everyone in front is still going to pit. I don't think that was James's intended original strategy, because if he was going to go for a double stop on that, because he started on softs, and there's Knack spinning there. That is tragic there for Knack, trying to follow Reaper too quickly through the Welsh chicane there, catches the back wheel on that entry of turn 10 on the left there, and Knack's going to be very upset by that. That's giving Reaper a lot of space now. Almost 5 seconds there. Reaper's got off space there. ERS, he's got that 1/3 of it left. He's got space now just to sit, run the track now, get that ERS refilled. He's slowing down a lot. It doesn't say there's a safety car. I'm not sure what. It's just showing yellow flags. I'm not sure if he thought that was a safety car coming up then, or if he was waiting for Knack to catch back up to him. I think he wanted. I don't think he touched him through there and nudged Knack into that whatsoever. I might be wrong. He may have felt that he did or didn't give him enough space, or he maybe just wanted a challenge of someone else trying to ride in his gearbox. Get James now trying to get Domestos, trying to threaten into turn 5 there. Doesn't try and outbrake him, backs off, gives Domestos the race line. That's my controller battery getting low. Thank you, PlayStation. James now following so close behind Domestos, coming through turn 9 together. Can't get the power down there on the outside. He can't make it through into 10 before he breaks first. Lets Domestos go through, and again we're looking into 12 to back, and again just not, they're going to have to wait for the DRS zone. Hasn't got the power to try and get through around this inside or outside. Doesn't want to risk it either, I don't think, of how tight Monaco is. Runs a slightly wide line there for Domestos to make sure he can come round with his wing and his gearbox. He's got the DRS now. He's going to make Domestos go to the outside. He's going to make the move up the inside onto turn 1. He does go past Domestos cleanly. Domestos gives him the place on the inside. That's a position there gained for James. Now that was 3 laps ago he put those mediums on. He's been sat there following Domestos for those 3 laps, wanting to get back up closer here to Reaper and Knack, where he was following along with earlier, locking up a little bit, braking hard to make sure he doesn't touch the back of Bestos there. Easing off through 11. As we come back, is he going to try and go to the outside again on turn 9? Going to try and beat him down into Novell again, and he does just get Domestos and he catches his back wheel on that entry to 10. Like we said, it's so dangerous, so easily done. Trying to take that inside line, going for the overtake there. Very hard getting that overtake in there. Domestos now back in front of him. His tyres are going to be running a little bit hot now, going to be taking a little bit more damage than would have wanted them to. And he's got all that work he just done to do over and over again. We'll join back up with Knack right now, following along with Reaper. Knack tapping the wall there again, appearing to have slight problems here with turn 10. And finding his entry point there, as we just going to jump down to Wouter quickly. Actually, he's trying to put the pressure onto Xz now, fighting for these back position of points. I've just realised Kronik's DNF'd. He's gone past Xz there. Xz's run a little bit deep and wide into 5. James is back up past the Domestos. The same move again through turn 9. He likes that overtaking point. It is a good overtaking point. We've got that long tunnel straight through 9, and we've got the grid 1. They're very good, but as we saw with drivers catching their will, if you go and make that move in the tunnel, you want to try and make sure you get that move done before the entry and the braking point of turn 10, so you can slip back in front of the car and get that wide entry point. Otherwise it makes it very difficult. This is a great view from Domestos right here, watching James battling it out with Bestos, looking for that position, looking for that space. All the time these two battle, this just allows Domestos to hold his place, getting close up to them as well, so he can put on the pressure for it. James there getting to the outside again, looking for any opportunity he can to put pressure on, maybe try and force the other driver to the outside line, hitting his back wheel against the wall there, trying to get the power down. Too much. We'll jump back up with James as they both come through there together. He's doing exactly the same thing again. He's got on the inside of him, turn 10 from the bow, and he makes it this time. Well done, James. Now, though, you got 5 seconds to catch up between you and Kuhn. You do have some of the freshest tyres on the grid right now. You've got tyres to take it to the end. I can't. These tyres that Reapers have now, these guys at the front of these front four, all on 20-lap old mediums. I think they've got to be feeling it now. Turn 9 through there. Can put on a bit of pressure. If you don't hold the car steady and straight and get a few scuffs through there, you can be taking a bit of damage on the tyres. They're not going to be in the best. There's a lot of space for James to make up now, though. I still think he might have been better staying on his hards. So at this point now, I think he would have had potentially that tyre advantage over Reaper and Knack, and I think would have been able again to start closing that time down on them. Knack obviously picking up penalties, both Knack and James picking up penalties now. Reaper still penalty free. Let's check our penalties actually as we talk about that. We're going to go down to Mestos, who's running reasonably close to Bestos, closer than any other drivers really running to each other. And let's check our penalty times. So Reaper, Kuhn, and Xz, the only drivers running penalty free right now around this track. Knack's got a 3-second test behind, got a 5-second though. I really hope, what's that too? 7 laps left to go. There's a 10-second difference there between Tess and Kuhn. Tess can't let Kuhn get within 5 seconds of them. But this could be, I don't think Ferrari's had a podium in Season 3. Pretty sure Ferrari hasn't had a podium in Season 3. Let me really quickly just go and look for that. Ferrari's got nothing but a podium, nothing anywhere near that. 1, 2, 8th is the highest position. Oh, we had Tiger who finished, I think, in 7th there with the Ferrari, but we've never had one, I think, in Season 3 running this far up. We have in Season 1, Season 2, other drivers, but not for Season 3. It's a good chance for Ferrari to get some points there and really move up the pack. We'll leave it on the penalties for now as it comes towards the end part of the race. James now having caught up with Kuhn. Gizmo's just DNF there. We have a virtual safety car now. Where is the McLaren? I can't see it on track. I'm not sure where he's DNF to. I was literally running a second ago. As I went to look up, there's a couple of drivers there dived in to the pit. There's the other McLaren. I'm an Alfa Romeo there, having dived into the pit. I see on the minimap. Getting some tyres changed for the end. We're racing again now. James, as I said, looking to put the pressure on Kuhn here. He has got a tyre advantage. He has got fresher tyres. But he does also have a 3-second penalty. So much quicker through the swimming pool complex there than Kuhn. Having to lift. Not really can talk too much there. If those tyres are getting old and he's trying to push them there, it's not as tight and stable on them. James, though, not with much ERS, neither with Kuhn. He hasn't got enough there to push up past. I think Kuhn giving him space if he wants to take it around through 2. That was nice. Kuhn realising he's got a tyre advantage and beat. He lets him go. No, he's going to have to relinquish that position. Now it's up to Tess now. 10 seconds between James and Tess. 5 laps, 1 second a lap, although James has got a 3-second penalty. Why are you making me do math right now? What does that cancel out? If he didn't have a penalty, he would need to have 5 seconds between them and get the position, but he's got a 3-second penalty. James now needs to get within 2 seconds of Tess, and then he'll be able to get 3rd position. I believe that's right. My maths is probably wrong. I'm sorry. I've been drinking. It's the only excuse that you're getting. There's 1 lap and there's 1 second. Gonna need just over 1 second of the lap. Gonna need to get down to that 2 laps. We're gonna need about 1.3 seconds a lap here from James to mitigate that penalty that he and Tess has got and move him into the 3rd position. It's going to be a tough push. He's a very quick driver, though. Kuhn there with no penalties could do with staying as best as he could. These drivers' tyres, they're really going to be failing now. We see Reaper putting that distance back up between him and Knack. We said these 20-lap-old tyres. These drivers are going to be having problems now. James, though, on jump back here to Jasper right now, trying to put the pressure on Domestos, who's following close behind. Bestos, he's not going to try and send it up the inside. Novell is going to follow behind. So we're going to come up, set it back. James now massively closed down that gap to 6 seconds, 3 laps left, and he needs to get 4.3 seconds off that time. As we've got the Haas, the Red Bull and the Ferrari here running real close. I know James has been running well and he's put in a very impressive display over the last few races, but I would really love to see that Ferrari take a podium right now around Monaco, and he's absolutely done it. Tess has had problems there, I think, with the hotel hairpin of turn 6, and James has absolutely close that gap down. Those 25 lap old mediums are not being kind to Tess. That's unfortunate, but a fourth is still going to be really good, I think, for the Ferrari. That'll be the most points they will have taken all season. Maybe just brake a bit harder, James. Just let him have the podium, maybe, you know. French can be nice to the Italians, can't they? Back on the last few laps here, Domestos, Jasper, Bestos. Domestos, we said the Red Bull there, Haas behind them in points, only 11 points behind them. Domestos wants in front of this Haas so much just to get those few extra points to keep his team in that third position. This points finish will not switch them round in positions, but it will leave them a lot closer. Well, a couple of points closer if they finish in this order. James so close behind Tess now. He's gonna have it from the penalties. I don't know if he's gonna try and push past in the DRS zone, try and take it on merit. Looking very close to through Raskas, and 18 and 19. Tess there protecting the inside. James going for it on the outside. Tess running a lot of curb, getting the cars trapped there. James having Tess picking up even more penalties there through running that inside, and now having gone into the wall. What are we doing, Ferrari? We know that car's got you on penalties. If they wanted to go past, just let them go past and retain that fourth position from Kuhn. You've now just damaged our car, and he's 12 seconds behind you. You've got an 8-second penalty, and you've got a lap and a half to make up. Kuhn might potentially even be able to make this up. He's got no penalties right now. And if he's paying attention to what's going on in front of him, Tess just damaged the wing as well from that. It took 3 seconds to get to them, and with there is an end plate missing off Tess's wing. They can't take Swimming Pool or Novell or the hairpin very well. Gonna be able to close up that gap. Looking there down to 10.9 now with the seconds. James closing down this time on Knack all the time. I think definitely gone. Others have definitely got him on tyre strategy today to what he had. Got stuck in traffic. Monaco not being the easiest to overtake through here. As we follow on with Reaper in ahead by 17 seconds. He's cutting through Raskas. He's back onto the grid line now. Reaper's going to come home. 28 lap old medium tyres. He comes home in first. As we jump back down to Nank, who's just about running behind the Renault of Rowan there. He's going to bring it home in second place there. As we look at James, who ran very commendable run. Not going to be happy with his tyre strategies on there and giving away that races. I'm impressed with how well these drivers have run some 28 lap old mediums here around Monaco and keep that in. Tessa in fourth, Coons in fifth. Jasper now coming up to come home in sixth there. Bestos in seventh, Domestos in eighth. Wouter coming through Raskas now to get back on to the grid straight. He's gonna bring it back in ninth. Fastest lap there of the race. What is Wouter doing there right now? apparently he's not happy and he's doing some donuts before the grid line. Taking off both his end plates. He's celebrating his P9 without a wing, but he did get fastest lap right there in the race, which was a 1:11 I saw there. Real life fastest lap being a 1:14.2 by Verstappen. That's the end of our race 13 of season 3 around the Circuit de Monaco in Monte Carlo. Reaper there, taking the win. Knack with a P2 and James in a P3. Knack and Reaper swapping around from last week's positions. We had James on the top step, Knack on the second, and Reaper on the third step last week. We'll get a quick rundown of the drivers in order, and then we'll swip over to the race director. So we have Reaper in first, Knack in second, James third, Tess fourth, Kuhn fifth, Jasper 6th, Bestel 7th, Domestos 8th, Wouter 9th, Xz 10th, Lang 11th, Rowan 12th, Yorkshire 13th, Tiger Gizmo 14th, Kronik 15th, and WaR-Elykr 16th. We went into the race director and we'll try and get the incidents up here. We'll be back on Saturday again for our second round. Saturday, 8 PM UK time for our second round of AV versus WW. That's going to be held at Monza this week, I believe. A full update on the start before that race starts. But AV came out on top after the first race with Reaper winning that. The current points stand on, I believe, 156 to AV and 110 to Weekend Warriors. Tygo is being removed from the AV team and swapped over, and Smithy is being swapped over from the Weekend Warriors team. That's the only two drivers that either side raised any issue with, and either side and both sides have agreed to a swap on that. So we'll be back on Saturday at 8 PM for our special League v League exhibition race. Hope to see you then. And so I'll say that I saw earlier we had 200 something views on the Japan race. The race wasn't even that good. I don't know how we got so many views on that. If you want a race that you want to watch Mexico, watch race 12, my highlight of the season so far. If you enjoyed today, please like and please subscribe. And as I said, we'll be back on Saturday, and then we'll resume again once again on Monday at regular time of 6 PM UK time for the next race after Monaco, which is, give me 1 second, what comes after Monaco? Alphabetical orders. Netherlands. I like that track a lot. That's going to be a great race on Monday. Goodbye for today.